Welcome crafty friends to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Now September is National Stamping Month and Close to My Heart has released the card creativity set, which makes these cards that you see in front of you here. There's lots of techniques that are used to create these gorgeous cards. So I'll bring in the products. So we'll start with this stamp and a thin cut. Now, as always, we can buy everything separately. So you can get the stamp with a thin cut, and you can also just get the stamp set on its own if you wish. And you can get the background thin cut on its own. And this also, they all have stencils. So let me see. If I put it there, you can see the cloud stencil. Okay. So that's what was used to make these two cards here. Then this is a stitched background thin cut. And we have a stamp and thin cut there, and it has a stencil to colour in the dragonflies. This is this one here that made these cards, and this is the lattice background stamp used on these cards, and it has a stencil that you can colour in there. So also it has one standalone sentiment stamp set. So it's got this side, so if I put that there, you can see. Sending you happy vibes, just a little hay to brighten your day. It's time to celebrate with cake, lots of cake. Wishing you a day that is as wonderful as you are. Thanks so much for being there. It means the world to know you care. So we've got lots there, you know, really nice to have some of these ones so that when you've got horizontal cards. And then this is the other side. So it's got two sides to the stamp set there. You make the world a better place. You were on my mind today, so I thought I would send a hug your way. I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just extending the celebration. So lots on that. Okay. So there's also some tips that I wanted to give you when putting these together and creating them. So we're going to start with this one, and I might zoom in just a little bit. And I just wanted to do some colouring and just show you how I did that. So we all do our colouring a bit different, but this is what I've started doing to reduce the amount of the lighter shade that I use, because I felt that I was using so much of the lighter shade. So I shade in the dark areas that I want. Then I go to the mid shade and blend it. And then the lighter shade. In the description below, I will add links to my website so that you can see what the costing of everything is. But it is so good to have not just a bundle where you can save 20% when you buy things as a bundle. So you can get a product bundle, or you can get the card workshop bundle, which has cardstock and the cards and envelopes in it as well. The markers and inks you're using are separate. Okay, so that's my colouring. Fill in this little bit. Okay, now if you wanted to have make it a little different, you know, because you make 2 cards of each design, you could do that. So with these clouds underneath, you could actually do a little bit of light sponging. It wouldn't need to be, I'm just using the leftovers from when I was using it. So I'm just sponging directly on the card base, and that would show through. Nice and just lightly sponged. You wouldn't need any more than that. You could even go around the edges of this as well if you like, but I think I'll just leave it there, and it just adds something a little bit different if you want the cards to be slightly different. Turn that up. Okay. Now with I did just simple colouring. I'm using the red brown for the little mouse, and I really didn't do too much shading. I just the lightest colour, and then I just did a few little spots like that. Add a little bit more definition without doing masses of shading. And then to the medium And I'll just do a little bit of shading there around his chin. So, okay. Right, so I'm going to put this balloon flat down, and I'm putting this all together just so you can see the difference with the shading behind the clouds. And a bit of foam for the other balloon. And on the mouse, I'm going to stick this directly down. I won't use foam on that. I think it looks really nice with that little pop of blue. I used Mermaid Lagoon for that. And I'll just try and match up the strings there. And I'm going to have a balloon there. So these are the pieces that came out there. We'll put those in. And a bit of foam on those. And I have missed this one little bit that goes down the side. I've left enough room. And that just finishes it off. So there's a little bit of colouring tips and something else you could do to make the card a little different by doing a bit of sponging behind the clouds. Okay, now the Next thing I wanted to show was this stencil and how it was used to colour in okay, so you'll notice that you'll see that I've got top put on those, and that is so that I know that that's going to fit over the in the right way. So there's one for the smallest dragonfly, one for the largest dragonfly, and this is the medium size. So this tip, our new masking tape, very low tack, and I'm going to put that behind so that that's sticking to the sticky side. Just bring it up a little bit more for you to see. And then we line up with the stamped image, and then it sticks to it. There, you can put more tape to hold it down, but it's just a small area. So the colours I'm going to use are, they're all distressed oxides. So this is the peacock feathers. So I'm just putting a bit on the edges of the wings. So I'm just sort of tilting my tool and the sponge trying to get just a small portion. And this is the kitsch flamingo. Needs a bit more colour. Okay, there we have. So then you peel that off. Perfect colouring. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So that's my other tip. And then you just wipe that off with your chamois, all clean to be used again. Okay, so that was for these cards with the dragonfly. I just wanted to show you. I'll bring that down again. So just the distressed oxides, just looking wonderful. That's markers on there, and these distressed oxides here and a splatter of water. I'm so happy with these. So thank you for joining me today for those few small tips on what I found, the masking tape tip, and putting top, then you know you're using the right side of the stencil each time, and some colouring with markers tips. I look forward to having you join me again. Don't forget to click on that bell so you can receive notifications, and I'd love it if you subscribed, and then you can come along and watch some techniques that I'll be bringing to you in the future. Bye for now.